Good evening, PEP scholars. Welcome to the Kemet Maasai Academy. We are continuing our ability test marathon. The exam is just a few days away, and we are sharpening our skills, right? So we're sharpening our skills. Not yesterday, on Wednesday, we were going through a booklet, an ability test assessment that the Ministry of Education, Youth and Information had issued in 2022. And we did the first 15. So we didn't have any live yesterday. And I told my PEP students that we'd complete that paper, that booklet, today. So it's we're going to do the last set of questions, which is 21, which is 16, to 30. That's what we're going to be doing this evening. For those who want to join me in the studio, I just posted the link. So you may log on, join me in the studio, or if you don't want to join me in the studio, you can stay right where you are and post your questions, post your answers. You can participate in that way, right? All right, so let me make sure I'm sending out the link to all the persons that need to get it. Okay. All right, so everybody has the link. I'm hoping my PEP students remember that I told them that it would be this afternoon. Not seen anyone logging on as yet, and I don't want to start without them. I know they're going to be mad at me if I start without them. So this particular section of the ability test is going to be testing for. Hi, Miss. Welcome. We're not seeing any of our peppers yet. Oh, I'm seeing Shalicia now in studio. Hi, Shalicia. Right. So it's going to be based on quantitative analysis mainly, right? So I'm seeing pure. Okay, so my peppers are coming in. Hi, Shalicia. Hi, pure. Welcome, scholars. All right, so we're about to see. Hi, pure. All right, so we have our books and pencils ready because it's the quantitative analysis, the quantitative section of the ability test. So we know we have to have our books and pencils ready to do our calculations. And we are actually going to get started now. So we have our folks over in the chat and we have our peppers in the studio, and Miss Reed is saying she ready like Freddy. She ready like Freddy. Yes, Miss Reed is ready. All right, so here we go. I need to share the screen. Hold on. Let me share the screen. I see people holding up their pencils. They are ready like Freddie. Pure is ready like Freddie. Or is he ready like Pure? Oh, I'm seeing Amari as well. Amari, I'll soon add you. Let me share the screen. All right. Which one is it again? This one. Okay. So we're good to go. Welcome, Amari.
Good evening, Miss and everyone.
Good evening. All right, so let's go. Our first question. So Shalisa was the first to arrive, and Shalisa will read our first question, which is question number 16. So remember, if you missed the first section of this particular ability test assessment booklet that was issued by the Ministry of Education, Youth and Information, just go to the last video before this one on the ability test. Go to the Kemet Maasai Academy channel and look for the last video before this one, and you will see questions 1 to 15. And we actually did 3 ability tests prior to that, because this is our ability test marathon for this week and next week. The exam is next week, Thursday. All right, Shalicia, please read question 16. Yeah,
Everyone,
16.
which number best completes the set of prime numbers below? Which number best completes the set of prime numbers below? 2, 3, 5, 7. 2, 3, 5. The options are okay. Miss, I can't see the screen. Okay.
Are you seeing it now?
B11, C9, D8. B11, C9, D8.
Read them again for me, please.
Miss, options?
Yes, the option.
The options are A12, B11, C9, D8. A12, B11,
All right, Shalisa. So we were having a little stall there. So let me just quickly read the option. So it's A12, B11, C9, D8. Shalisa, which would you choose to complete the prime numbers?
Miss, it would be 11 because the rest are composite numbers. 12 has more than two factors, 9 has more than two factors, and 8 has more than two factors. The only
All right.
number with only two factors is 11.
All right. So maybe you could define for us what is a prime number.
A prime number is a number that has only two factors, 1 and itself, while
Okay.
composite numbers have more than two factors.
All right. So that is correct. So the prime numbers, only themselves and one can divide exactly into them. So we have the first set of 4 prime numbers, the first 4 of the set of prime numbers, 2, 3, 5, and 7. And the next in line is 11. So you're correct, Shalicia. Pure, question 17, please.
Alright, miss. There are 2 vans for every 7 cars parked in a stadium car park. What combination of vans and cars can be in the stadium stadiums, car park. A. 16 vans and 56 cars. B. 14 vans and 42 cars. C. 9 vans and 63 cars. 4. 4 vans and 9 cars. There are 2 vans for every 7 cars parked in a stadium car park. What combination of vans and cars can be in the stadium's car park? A. 16 and 56 cars. 16 vans and 56 cars. B. 14 vans and 42 cars. C. 9 vans and 63 cars. D. 4 vans and 9 cars. Finish.
All right, Pure. How would you approach this question?
Miss, can you give me a little more time, Miss?
All right.
Thanks.
So let us look at this question very carefully and figure out how we plan to approach it. Anyone with any ideas yet? Any ideas? 2 vans to every 7 cars.
Miss,
Miss?
Yes, go ahead, Shalisa.
Miss, I think the answer would be A. 16 vans and 56 cars.
What makes you think so?
The question states there are 2 vans for every 7 cars.
So
So,
how did you come to that connection then?
so 2 into 16 goes 8 times, and 8 times 7 is 56. Because it says for every 2 vans, there are 7 cars.
All right, so we are seeing we can express it as a ratio and then see which other ratio is equivalent, right? Or we could even express it as a fraction and see which is equivalent. So Shalicia is saying if it's 2 vans to 7 cars, so 2 to 7, we need to find an equivalent ratio here. And she's saying, well, 2 goes into 16 8 times, 7 goes into 56 8 times. So she's choosing A because A is equivalent. The 16 to 56 is equivalent to 2 to 7. Same thing, what we do to the 2 to get 16 is multiplied by 8. Likewise, we multiply the 7 by 8 to get 56. All right, so you're right on the money again, Shalicia. Amari, question 18, please.
Number 18. Andy gave the following clues about a special number. Clues. I am a counting number less than 80. I am an even number. I am divisible by 3. I am a multiple of 8. What number am I? 18. Andy gave the following clues about a special number. Clues. I am a counting number less than 80. I am an even number. I am divisible by 3. I am a multiple of 8. Miss, I have my answer, miss.
What's your answer?
Miss, I got D 48. Oh, miss, I must call them out, miss. The answers, miss.
Read the options twice.
Yes, yes. What number am I? A 78, B 66, C 56, D 48. What number am I? A 78, B 66, C 56, D 48.
How did you come by the 48?
It's because I said, Miss, I'm saying, Miss, the first example it says it's less than 40 than 80, Miss. Miss 48 is less than 80, Miss. It also says it is an even number, Miss. 48 is an even number, Miss, and it says I am divisible by 3, Miss. Miss 48 is divisible by 3, and Miss said it's a multiple of 8, Miss, and 48 is a multiple of 8, Miss.
All right. So, um, if we use you are correct, Amari. If we use the process of elimination, which means we can cross out those that do not apply to the statements given. So let's see. I am a counting number less than 80. Can we eliminate any of the options?
Yeah, yes, Miss.
Which
No,
one
Miss.
could
No, Miss.
no,
No, Miss.
no, we can't eliminate any yet, right?
Yes, Miss.
They are all counting numbers less than 80. I am an even number. Can we eliminate any of them?
No, Miss.
No, so we're still stuck with the 4. I am divisible by 3. Can we eliminate any of them?
Yes, Miss.
Which one? Or 2 or
Miss,
3?
you can take away the 78 and the 56, Miss.
I think we can divide 78
Sorry,
by
Miss. Just the 78, Miss.
just the 78 we can eliminate. Is 78 divisible by 3?
Sorry, Miss. Just the 56, Miss.
All right, how many times does 3 go into 78?
Miss 3 goes into 78.
26.
Hmm?
Miss
26.
26, Miss.
All right, so we have eliminated the 56. It's not divisible by 3. So there's one feature left. I am a multiple of 8. That means 8 can go into it. So what are we eliminating in this case?
Miss the 78, the 66, and Miss we already eliminated the 50.
Okay, so 8 cannot go into 78 and 66. It could have gone into the 56. However, we had to eliminate the 56 because it's not divisible by 3. So right now we're only left with the 48. So by elimination, we get 48. All right, Rajani, welcome.
Hello, Miss.
How are you?
I'm fine, Miss.
Okay. All right, we're gonna go back to Shalicia for question 19.
Number 19. 75 students of grade 6 chose to watch a movie on the last day of school. This represents 25% of the number of students in 6th grade. What is the total number of students in 6th grade? Number 19. 75 students of grade 6 chose to watch a movie on the last day of school. This represents 25% of the number of students in 6th grade. What is the total number of students in the 6th grade? The options are A. 100, B. 150, C. 300, D. 450. The options are A. 100, B. 150, C. 300, and D. 450.
All right. Are you ready or you want to think about it a little, Shalicia?
Yes, I need to think about this a little.
All right, so everybody is going to be working out. For those in the chat, remember when you're posting your questions, you need to put the number of the question that you're responding to, because I'm not always looking at the chat at every point in time. So when I come back to read your answers, I want to know which question it is that you're answering. I'm just seeing some answers. Miss Reed is saying B, Michael is saying A, but I don't know for which question. All right, so Michael is saying for 19, it's 300. If you're in the chat, you need to also give an explanation. Shelly said, let me know when you're ready. And if anybody else on the panel is ready.
Miss, I think I found the answers.
All right, go ahead, Amari.
So, Miss, it says the 25, Miss, it says 20, 75 students chose to watch the movie, Miss, and it represents 25 of the students, Miss.
25%.
25% of the students, Miss. So, Miss, what I did, Miss, I said the 75 plus the 25, Miss, and I got 100, Miss.
75 plus 25. The 75 and the 25 are not in the same unit. You can't add things that are not in the same unit. The 25 is 25%. The 75 is 75 students. You can't add percent to students. Shalicia?
Miss, my answer is C 300. The question states that 75 is 25%. And I'm sure we all know that 25% is a quarter of 100. So I multiplied 75 times 4 and I got 300.
All right, and I agree. Right, so Amari, she's saying we are told that the 75 represents 25% of the whole. Shalicia converted the 25% to a quarter. 25 over 100, that's a quarter. So if 75 is a quarter of a number, then we do the reverse to find the total. We multiply by 4 to find the total, and that's what Shalicia did. So the answer is 300. So Mikhail, you are correct as well.
Oh, Miss, he or she put an explanation in the chat, Miss.
Oh, I'm gonna go back and read it in a minute. All right, so Rajani, I'm going to want you to read question 20. Okay, so Mikhail says, since 25% is 75 students, to find 50%, you would times 75 by 2, which is 150. And to find the total, you would now add 150 to 150, that's 300. And that is how I arrived at my answer, which is also acceptable. You are correct, Mikhail. So Michaela's reasoning, 25% is 75 and 50% is twice the 25. So multiply 75 by 2 to get a half of the number, which is 150. So if 150 is a half of the number, then the full number should be 150 times 2. It's similar to what Shalicia did, except that she skipped the middle step, right? She just went straight to say, okay, if a quarter of the whole is 75, then all I need to do is multiply the 75 by 4 to get the full whole, because there are 4 quarters in a whole. Rajani, I want you to read question 20, please.
Yes, miss. What is the total area of the pentagon? Shown below.
Read it again, please.
What is the total area of a pentagon shown below? Shown below.
So we're going to look at the pentagon. A pentagon has how many sides?
5 sides, miss.
5 sides. All right, so here we have the pentagon. It's a 5-sided polygon, but they have divided it up into 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 smaller polygons on the interior, and they want us to find the area, the total area. All right, so let's have a go at it. The first person who is ready, just indicate, please. We're finding the total area. Michael, you're correct. A pentagon has 5 sides. So let's get to it. We're working out the total area of the pentagon. This pentagon is divided into 5 smaller polygons. Can we name the polygons that it is divided into?
Miss, This is a right, Mr. Right angles and a squares.
A right angle what?
Triangles.
So we have how many right angle triangles?
Four, miss.
So we have four right angle triangles. Is that a square?
For me. Yeah,
It's a,
no, Miss,
it's
it's
rectangles.
a rectangle.
Okay, why is it not a square?
It's because a
Because
square is
it's
shorter than a rectangle. Miss.
shorter than a rectangle, Miss.
A square is what, Rajani?
Shorter than a rectangle, Miss.
Square is shorter. You have squares that are bigger than rectangles. That's not what defines it. Amari, how do you
Miss,
define?
it is, miss the rectangle. Miss the rectangle is longer in length. Miss.
All right, so the length and the width of the rectangle are different. It can be shorter than, we have countless possibilities for the dimensions of squares as well as rectangles. You can have squares that are 20 centimeters long and wide. You can have rectangles that are 10 centimeters long and 2 centimeters wide. It will be smaller than the square, but that's not what defines it. The rectangle must have a different length than the width, and the square has four equal lengths, four equal sides. All right, so how far are we
I
in
think
calculating the area?
Miss, I think I found the answer, but I think I'm very wrong, Miss.
Well, let's hear it. You could be wrong about being wrong. Let's
Okay.
hear your reasoning and let's hear
Um,
your answer.
so Miss, what I did, Miss, I add up all the meters, Miss, and then Miss, when I added them, Miss, I got 21 squared meters, Miss.
You added all the meters and you ended up with square meters.
No, Miss, sorry,
I don't think you can add meters and end up with square meters. That's one thing.
wrong.
And the other thing, do we add dimensions to get area?
No, Miss.
All right, so back to the drawing board you go, Amari. Does anyone else have any ideas? No ideas? Nobody in the chat? How are we going to work out the area? Well, they have cut up the pentagon into four right angle triangles. Do we know how to find the area of a right angle triangle?
Miss,
Miss,
Miss, it is 90 degrees. Miss.
We're not well. It's a right angle triangle has a 90-degree angle, but we don't necessarily need to know any of the angles to calculate the area. What's the formula to calculate the area for a right angle triangle? It's Michael is saying height times base. It's actually half base times height. Half of the base times the height.
Yes, Miss.
So
The units,
that's
please.
how we're going to find the area of the four right angle triangles. And I'll give you a clue. We could actually, it's an advanced way of thinking, but you could actually combine the triangles and think of them as one triangle. Or if you prefer, find the four different areas of the triangles, half base times height. And what about the rectangle there? How do we find the area of the rectangle?
Multiply length times width.
Length times width,
Length
right?
times
And
Miss.
Michael is saying to find the area of a triangle is height times length times width. No, height times length, height times base divided by 2, yes. And for the rectangle, length times width. So there we go. Now we're armed with the formula. We just need to work out the area of each section and add them together to get the total area of the pentagon. So what's the area of the rectangle?
Miss, it's
The rectangular part is length.
times width, miss.
So it's what times what?
12. 4 times 3.
4 times 3, that's how much?
12, miss.
12,
Alright.
miss.
And this right angle triangle here, half base times height. So that's the height, that's the base.
So,
So
miss, it's
half
4
of
times.
2
4
is,
meter times, miss, excuse me,
yes,
miss.
yes,
4
Rajani.
meters times, miss, 4 meters times 2 meters, miss.
And then we're going to divide it by
The
2.
2, miss.
Base times height divided by 2. So what do we get for that one?
Miss, you would get 2, miss. Sorry, miss, 4, miss.
4. And
Miss.
this is an identical triangle over here. So we can multiply that 4 by 2 for the two identical triangles. So how much that in all?
Miss, 8, miss.
8.
8,
And
miss.
then we're left with these two identical triangles down here. We could even work it as one. We could even work it as one whole triangle here. So what would be the base of this whole triangle here?
Miss, 2 meters.
2 plus 3 plus 2, that's how much?
Miss, that is 7, miss.
So 7 times 3
Is, miss, 7 times 3 is 21, miss.
divided by 2, because it's half base times height. 21 divided by 2 is, what's 21 divided by 2?
Miss, it would be,
Speak up.
miss,
It will be what?
miss, I'm going.
21 divided by 2,
Miss, 10, miss.
10. Exactly 10.
No, miss, not
10.
Where's it got, miss? With 10.
miss, 2 can't go exactly into the one.
So tell me as a decimal. The answers, we have answers there that are decimals. So tell me as a decimal or as a fraction.
Okay, miss.
21 divided by 2
Miss, 21 divided by 2 will be
will be what?
10.10, 10.1, miss. 10.1.
No, not 10.1.
It's 10.5.
10.5. It will be 10 remainder 1 over 2, which is a half. And a half is 0.5. All right, so let's add up. The rectangle was 12. The
Yes, miss.
two right angle triangles were 8.
8, miss.
And the other triangle down here is 10.5. Add those together now
Yes,
and
miss.
tell me the total area.
Miss
About
30.5.
30.5, miss.
30.5. And that letter is what?
A, miss.
A. Okay, that is correct.
Miss, I get 30.5.
All right, that is correct. All right, so Amari, it's your turn.
Yes, miss.
Number 21.
Number 21. Sadfa ran 2. Miss, I don't say that fraction. Miss, I can't say the fraction.
2 and 1/8.
2 and 1/8
No, 2 and
kilometers.
a quarter. Sorry, 2 and a
2 and
quarter.
a, 2.25 kilometers each day for 3 days. 1.5 kilometers each day for the next 2 days, and then ran 1 and 1 over 4 kilometers for the last day. How many kilometers did Sadfa run altogether for the 6 days?
All right, so let's tackle that one. Let's tackle that one. How much we get for that?
Miss, I added all of the turtles name again. Miss, I got 10.
10?
Yes, Miss.
You sure? Anybody else?
Miss, I'm working it out right now, miss.
So 2.25 for 3 days, right? And then 1.5 for 2 days, and 1.25 for 1 day. All right, so Amari says he needs a little time. Mikhail says Chrisan got 10.5 for the last one. Mikhail also, and Miss Reed got 10.5. So for this question now, Mikhail is saying he got 5. Is 5 an option? Let me check. 5 is an option. Okay. Mikhail, explain how you got 5, please. I know it's a little tedious to be typing out your answer, but I'm really interested in knowing how you come by your answer. So if you're in the chat, while you're waiting for us to wrap our brains around the questions and you already have your answer, just go ahead and explain as detailed as you can how you came by your answer. Anybody in the studio ready?
No, miss.
Walk me through what you're doing. What is your procedure?
Miss, I tried multiplying, but it didn't work.
What did you multiply with?
Miss, I multiply 6, 1, 2, 1, and 2.
6? Where did 6 come from?
6 days, 2 days, 1.5 kilometers.
Days in
One,
all, but it was broken down into different amounts each day. 6 days in all, but you have to categorize it because for a certain number of days, sad for run a certain number of kilometers. So how are we going to approach this given that different
Miss,
days
what
are
I Miss, what I'm
so
going to
D.
do. Miss,
Hold on, Rajani. Go ahead, Amari.
Miss, what I think we should do. No, Miss. Miss, say the 2 and 1/4 plus the 1.5 plus the 1.25, miss, plus the 6, miss. No, sorry, it's not plus the 6, miss. Miss, when you add all of that, miss, and you get your answer, miss, you times it by 6, miss.
That's not a good approach, Amari, because you see, because each of those amounts were run on separate days, you can't just group them all together. And Shalicia had her hand up. Shalicia.
Miss, I approach this question by converting all of these to meters and then adding the answers I got up, and then the answer I got, I divided it to get the answer in kilometers. So
Uh,
2.25.
hold a second, Shalicia. Let me double check something. Aren't they in kilometers? Aren't they already in kilometers? I'm interested in knowing why you converted them to meters and then back to kilometers. What answer did you get ultimately?
Miss, I got A5.
85.
No, Miss, when I added up,
Oh, you got 5?
Miss, yes, Miss A5.
All right, so you're saying you converted them to meters, added them up, and then converted them back to kilometers?
Yes, Miss.
Is that what you're saying? All right,
Yes, Miss.
for those students who are just adding them up, you're making an error. You're not understanding that it's different quantities over the 3 days, different quantities over the 2 days, a different quantity for the last day, and that matters. Pure, you had your hand up. What was your approach?
Miss, I got 11, miss. And
How did you get 11?
miss, cause uh, I convert the fractions to decimal, miss.
Mm-hmm.
Then times it by the number, time, like 2 and a quarter times 3 is 6.75.
Mm-hmm.
And 1.5 times 2 is 3.0.
Mm-hmm.
1 and a quarter times 1 is 1.25. And I add that all up, miss, and I
Mm-hmm.
got 11, 11, miss. 11.00.
Okay, that is correct, Pure. Miss Reed is saying she also got 11. And Mikhail's explanation for getting the 5, Mikhail says, first I added the whole numbers, and I got 4. Then I found the LCM of the quarter, half and a quarter. The LCM is 4, so I would get 1 whole. All right, so most persons uh, did the addition approach. I think most persons did the addition approach, and that was an error. You see, because the days had different number of kilometers run, so we have to section them the way that Pure did. For the first 3 days, he multiplied the 2 and a quarter by 3. The next 2 days is the 1.5 times 2. And the last day was also a different quantity. So we have to segment them, multiply out each set, and then you add. You can't just go straight and add because it wasn't evenly distributed. The distance run each day was not evenly distributed, and that's why we couldn't do it like that. All right, so Pure, it's your turn. Question 22.
All right, miss. Which quadrat, which
Quadrilateral.
quadrilateral listed below has 4 lines of
Symmetry.
symmetry?
Symmetry.
Symmetry. Thank you, miss. A. Rhombus. B. Rectangle. C. Square. D. Parallelogram. Which quadrilateral listed below has 4 lines of symmetry? A. Rhombus. B. Rectangle. C. Square. D. Parallelogram.
Does anyone want to explain what is meant by 4 lines of symmetry? What is meant by that? It has 4 lines of symmetry.
Miss,
Miss, is it mean
the
like equal line, miss?
Pardon me?
Does it mean like it's 4 equal line?
No.
Miss, Miss,
Amari.
does it mean the lines around the thing? Miss,
The lines around the thing.
Miss, the lines around the rectangle. Miss,
No. So symmetry means that you're able to divide the shape in such a way that you'll have two exactly equal parts. So in other words, you can draw a line straight down through the middle, and what is on the left would be an exact replica of what is on the right, in the way that a mirror would show something, right? So if you were looking at, if you had an object right up to the mirror line and you reflect it, the orientation would be different, but the image would be the same size, same shape. You see all the elements in it. So a line of symmetry is a line that can be drawn exactly through the middle of a shape, and you can fold the shape over on itself. So which of those shapes would you be able to fold 4 different times and it fits over itself each of those times? Miss Reed is saying C,
Miss C, Miss.
Miss, I know.
pure,
Miss C square.
square. All right,
Miss,
that is
I got
correct.
the same thing, Miss.
Why not the rectangle?
Miss, because Miss, if you have a paper that is a rectangle, Miss, and Miss, you fold it, Miss, it turns into a square.
It turns into a square if you fold it. It depends on which way you fold it.
Yes, Miss.
So how many times would we be able to fold the rectangle for it to fit exactly over itself? How many times, if you have a rectangle, so this is a rectangular piece of paper I have here, right? I can fold it vertically and it fits over itself. I can also fold it horizontally and it fits over itself. But I can't fold it diagonally. I can't fold it. If I fold it diagonally, see, it doesn't fit over itself. So there are only 2 lines of symmetry in the rectangle, but because the square has 4 equal sides, we can fold it vertically, horizontally, and 2 different ways diagonally. So that's 4. 4 ways we can fold the square. All right, Shalicia. All right, so we're back to Shalicia. I think Rajani got kicked out. Question 22.
Miss, here I am.
Question 23. Question 23, Shalicia.
Question 23. The rectangular tank below contains water as shown. What is the volume of water in the rectangular tank? The rectangular tank below contains water as shown. What is the volume of water in the rectangular tank?
All right, so what do we mean by volume?
Miss the capacity.
The capacity, how much the thing can hold, right? How much space it takes up in 3 dimensions. And what is the formula for calculating the volume? In this case, it's a rectangular tank. You can see that. So how do we calculate the volume in a rectangular object?
Height multiplied by base.
Height times base. Michael is asking what's the number, what was the answer for 21? 21 was C. Does anyone know how we calculate the volume or the capacity of a cuboid, a rectangular 3-dimensional object? It's not base times height. All right, so the concept of volume is you find the area of the base of whatever the shape is. In this case, it's a rectangular base, but it could also have been a triangular base, a circular base, any shape. You work out the area of the base and then multiply it by the height. Right, so it's the area of the base, Shelley said, the area of the base times the height, not base times height. In this case, we have a rectangular base, and we know the area of a rectangle is length times width, and then we're going to multiply by the height. So it's length times width times height. So what would be the volume of the water in this rectangular based tank? Everybody work that out for me. Write down quickly. Volume is equal to the volume of a rectangular based object is length times width times height. And then quickly work out the volume of the water. That's a tricky thing here because the water does not go up entirely to the top of the tank, does it? Does the water fill the capacity of the tank?
No, miss.
So that's a little tricky part. So let's see who can maneuver around that little part of it and work out the volume of the water in the tank. Whoever is ready, please indicate. Anybody in the chat ready for us with your answer?
Miss, can I see the options, please?
Pardon me? Oh, you
Miss,
did. Oh, I'm sorry. You didn't see the options. My bad. So let's see.
I am right.
All right, read the options.
I was right. It's 120.
Please read the options.
Oh,
Who read the question? I lost track.
Miss.
Shalicia? Shalicia, read the options, please. Two times.
The options are 120,000 centimeter cubed,
Cubed.
B 100,000 centimeters cubed, C 60,000 centimeters cubed, or D 40,000 centimeters cubed. The options are A 120,000 centimeters cubed, B 100,000 centimeters cubed, C 60,000 centimeters cubed, D 40,000 centimeters cubed.
All right. So who is ready with their answer? Who is ready? Nobody? What will be the area of the base of the tank? Not hearing you.
This is
It will be what? Shalicia, what did you say?
2,000.
How did you get 2,000?
50 multiplied by 40.
All right.
Because it's
And what would be the height? What would be the height?
That's the 20 centimeters and the 30 centimeters.
The 20 centimeters and the 30
Um,
centimeters.
no, miss, just the 20 centimeters.
Why the 20 and not the 30?
Miss,
They want the volume of the water. If they wanted the volume of the tank, it would be 50 times 40 times 30. Because they want the volume of the water, we have to look at the level of the water, which is 20, right?
yes, miss.
So it would be, let me make sure I'm saying the right thing. It would be, if we wanted the volume of the tank, it would be 50 times 40 times 30. But because it's the water we're interested in, we're concerned with this height, the 20, not the 30.
Miss, So I know the answer.
So it's 50 times 40 times 20. What's the answer, Pure?
Miss 60,000.
60,000.
Yes, miss.
50 times 20 times 40.
No, miss, miss, that would be 400, miss.
50 times 20.
Miss,
Oh,
can I get the options, miss? What?
Again, the options again.
Miss, is it 40,000? 40,000, miss?
I got
Um,
40,000, miss.
what is the number down here? Because on my screen
That's
I'm
50.
50,
50,
right?
miss.
Yes,
Miss, I got
miss.
40,000.
So it's 40,000. That's correct. All right, Pure, it's your turn. Question.
24. Which figure has at least one acute angle and two obtuse angles? Which figure has at least one acute angle and two obtuse angles?
So let us define. What is an acute angle? What is an obtuse angle?
Miss, an acute angle, miss, it's the small angle, miss.
Don't say it's a small angle. Tell me exactly. Define for me exactly what it is. Don't say the small angle. There are a number of degrees that an
Miss, can
acute
you
angle
hear me?
must.
Miss, can you hear
Welcome.
me?
I'm hearing you. I'm saying don't just say it's a small angle.
Yes, miss.
That's relative. Tell me exactly what are the number of degrees it can have.
Miss, miss, an angle, miss, miss has measurement of less than 90 degrees. Miss, yes, miss, less than 90 degrees, miss.
All right, so you're saying an acute angle is less than 90 degrees.
Yes, miss.
Okay. And what is an obtuse angle?
Miss, an obtuse angle. Uh, miss, can I look
Hi,
at some?
Miss.
Hi, Nathan. Yes, Amari, quickly.
Yes, miss. Miss, it
Miss,
is an
miss
angle
another answer.
greater than 90 degrees, miss.
That's it. So once it's greater than 90 degrees, it's obtuse.
Miss, it, miss, any, miss, have any angle greater than 90 degrees, miss.
Miss 90 to 180.
That's correct. Between 90 and 180. Greater than 90, less than 180. Mikhail also gave us a definition for the acute. An acute angle is an angle that is less than 90 degrees, and an obtuse angle is an angle that measures more than 90 degrees but less than 180 degrees. So if we think, we know that 90 degrees is a right angle, and that's two perpendicular lines forming that, if you the way your elbow is, right, roughly. We all are familiar with that right angle, 90 degrees. So the acute is less than that. And the obtuse is between that and a straight line. So the
Miss,
obtuse is more than the 90, but it don't pass the straight line. So think of that. So
miss,
which
miss,
of
miss,
those shapes?
I know the answer, miss. I know the answer.
Go
miss, I
ahead.
know the answer, miss.
Pure, go
Miss,
Miss,
ahead. Hold on.
miss,
It was Pure's question. Let's give him the right
miss,
of
miss
Pure.
it's D, miss.
So Pure is saying D. What shape is that at D?
Miss, I look like a trapezium.
It's a trapezium.
A trapezium.
All
Ooh.
right. So They
Miss?
should have, it says it should have at least one acute angle and two obtuse. So look pure, which how we have, do we have two obtuse angles in the trapezium here? Two angles that are greater than 90 and less than 180.
No, miss.
I'm
No,
seeing
miss.
I'm
No,
seeing
miss.
two right
No, miss.
angles.
No, miss. No, miss.
Right, I'm seeing two right angles. I'm seeing one acute angle here and one obtuse angle there. So it's not the trapezium. Who else wants to try?
Miss,
Amari?
miss, it is a miss.
So A, what shape is that A?
Miss, it is a miss. It's a triangle. Miss, it's a
This angle, is it obtuse, acute, right?
miss. Miss is obtuse. Miss.
This angle here,
No, miss.
Sorry, miss. Acute. Miss. Acute. Miss.
and this one is what?
Miss, that is a right angle. Miss.
This is a right angle, Amari? This one here?
Miss, miss, I'm going to zoom in, miss, so I can see. No, no, miss, that is not an acute angle. All right.
And this one is what?
Miss,
This
that
one,
is. What said, miss?
what is this? This one? We definitely don't have two obtuse angles in this triangle. This could be one obtuse, but the other two are acute. What they're looking for must have two obtuse angles
Oh, oh.
and one acute angle. It can't be the hexagon either,
Miss,
because that's obtuse.
So it's B, miss.
It
B,
has to
miss,
be
but
B.
miss, I don't
Sorry?
see any. Miss, where's the right angle in B, miss?
It didn't say it must have a right angle.
Oh,
It
miss,
says
miss, that's
one
what I was
acute,
looking for now.
at least one acute and two obtuse.
Mrs. Bear right angle, I was looking for, miss.
Oh, but we have to read carefully. All right, Rajani. Is Rajani still here?
Yes,
Rajani,
miss.
but he's not responding. Are you there, Rajani?
Miss?
Did you go to sleep, sir? You fell asleep?
No, miss.
Please read the question,
No?
Rajani.
Excuse me,
Question.
miss. Excuse me, miss. My auntie's calling me. Yes.
Tell her that you're on a live PEP class and it's your turn to read the question.
Miss, number 26, miss.
25.
Oh, 25. Which list on
Contains
contain which list contains all of the fractions of
factors,
20?
all the factors.
Oh, all the factors of 24.
Read the
A.
options.
A. 2, 4, 6, 8, 12, and 21. No, 24. B. 2, 3, 4, 6, 8, 12, and 24. C. 1, 3, 8, and 24. D. 1, 2, 3, 4, 6, 8, 12, and 24.
Okay, read the question again, Rajani.
2, 4,
The
6,
question,
8.
the question, please.
Which list contains all of the factors of 24?
Options. Read the
Miss
options. Read the options again. A,
A. 2, 4, 6, 8, 12, and 24. 2, 3, 4, 6, 8, 12, and 24.
all the letters too. C,
C. 1, 3, 8, and 24. D. 1, 2, 3, 4, 6, 8, 12, and 24.
Rajani, what do they mean by the factors of 24?
Factors means what times it can get 24 means.
All
Miss.
right. So which list do you choose? Which of the list shows all the numbers that can multiply to give 24?
Miss,
Is
Miss,
Rajani?
I'm not. Miss,
Which of
it's
the lists,
D.
Rajani, shows all the numbers that can go into 24?
D, Miss.
You're saying B,
1, D,
D,
Miss.
or D?
Yes, Miss.
Call them out.
1, 2, 3, 4, 6, 8, 12, and 24.
All right, that is correct, Rajani. All those numbers can divide
Yes,
exactly 24. Nathan,
yes, Miss.
I want you to read number 26, please.
Yes, Miss. The number of students enrolled at Hamilton's primary school is as follows: year 2016, 2017, 2018, 2019, and 2020. 2016 40,
40
40,
what? 40 what?
40, 40 students.
Okay.
2017 65 students. 2018 35 students. 2019 40 students. 2020 30 students. Which chart best represents the information shown in the table?
Again.
The number of students enrolled at Hamilton's primary school is as follows: year 2016, 2017, 2018, 2019, and 2020. Number of students: 40, 65, 35, 40, 30. Which chart best represents the information shown in the table?
All right, so jot down those figures quickly and then we're going to look at the charts. So everybody, jot down the figures quickly. And I'm going to switch and go to the charts, right? So it's 4 years and we have a number of students for each year. All right, so I'm going to switch
5
it.
years, Miss.
Good evening, Shaheem.
Good evening, Miss.
All right, so let's go to the charts. Can you see the screen?
Yes, Miss.
All right, so that's the charts for A and B. Study them carefully, see if they match up with those numbers for the years. Giving you 1 minute to study A and B and look at the figures that each part of the line goes up to. So we have the years on the horizontal axis and the number of students on the vertical axis. Look to see if any of them match up with those figures.
Miss,
Not yet, Nathan. I'm going to show C and D as well. All right, so here's C and D now. Study them and see. And then Nathan will tell me his answer.
Miss, I have my answer too, Miss.
All right, so Nathan, what do you say?
Miss A, Miss.
For number 26, you're saying A. What you say, Shaheem?
Miss for number what, Miss?
We're at number 26.
Miss, can I see the options, please?
I told you to jot down the options. Did you hear that? Did you hear when I
Miss
said that?
Amma,
These are the options.
Miss, I don't
even
know the answer.
Miss, I got mine as well, Miss.
Hold on. We have some music in the background. Who is playing music in the background? Is Rajani?
Miss, I got my answer, Miss.
What's your answer?
Miss, it's A.
So Rajani is also saying
Yes, Miss A, Miss.
keep yourself muted, Rajani, unless you're speaking. Nathan, what you had said, Shaheem, you're agreeing
Yes, Miss.
that 26 is A.
Yes, Miss.
Does anyone disagree?
Miss, I disagree, Miss. Miss, can you please go on the
Miss,
the
I
second-
disagree,
Miss,
Miss.
Can you please go on the 2 second charts, Miss? No, Miss, the other
Miss,
one.
the second one, Miss.
Yes, Miss, that one, please, Miss.
Miss,
Thank
I think it's D.
Miss, I think it's. Huh?
D.
Miss. Oh yes, Miss. I agree with Pure, Miss, and I think it is D, Miss.
For 26?
Yes, Miss.
Hold on. Miss. No, Miss. No, Miss. Miss, it is not D, Miss. Miss, it is
Wait.
C, Miss. It is C, Miss.
It is C.
Yes, Miss. I am positive. Very positive.
So,
Oh, yeah, Miss,
so
I
the year, so 20, what was the first year given?
Miss 40, Miss.
2018, right?
Yes. No, Miss 2016. Miss.
2016 should be what? 40?
Miss 40, yes, Miss.
And 2017?
65, Miss.
Okay, that's it here. And 2018?
35, Miss.
35. 2019?
40, Miss.
Okay. And 2020. So this is the one. That's the one. Okay. C.
Yes.
All right, Shaheem, number 27, please.
Yes, Miss. Marilyn used 5.8 kilogram of sugar to bake a vanilla cake and 712 kilogram of sugar to bake a chocolate cake. Marilyn used the expression below to find the total kilograms of sugar used to bake both cakes. 5 over n plus 7 over
5
12.
over 8.
5.
Is that
Oh.
5 over 8?
Thank you, Miss. 5 over 8 plus 7 over 12. Which expression below shows one way Marilyn should use to find the total kilograms of sugar used? A 15 over 24. B 15 over 24 plus 14 over 24. B 5 over 8 plus 7 over 12. C 5 over 8.
That's 5 plus 7 over 8 plus 12. For B, you have to read it properly. For A, the fractions are separated. For B, they're not separated. So we have to read it as it is.
Thank you,
Miss,
Miss.
Hold on, please. Read C, Shaheem.
5
excuse
plus
me, Miss.
7 over
Yes,
8
yes,
times 12.
Nathan?
Miss, I found my answer already, Miss.
No, but we have to wait. We have to give
Yes,
Shaheem
Miss.
his turn.
Yes,
Continue,
Miss.
Shaheem.
D 5 over. Miss, what is that, Miss? 96?
The way my screen is set up, I am not seeing D actually. Can
It's
anyone else make?
96, Jaime. It's 96.
Okay,
Thank you,
96.
Pure. 5 over 96 plus 7 over 96.
All right, go again from the top.
Marilyn used 5.8 kilogram of sugar to bake a vanilla cake and 712 kilogram of sugar to bake a chocolate cake. Marilyn used the expression below to find the total kilograms of sugar used to bake both cakes. 5 over 8 plus 7 over 12. Which expression below shows one way Marilyn should use to find the total kilograms of sugar used? A. 15 over 24 plus 14 over 24. B. 5 plus 7 over 8 plus 12. C. 5 plus 7 over 8 times 12. D. 5 over 96 plus 7 over 96.
All right, Shaheem, how would you approach this?
This can I get a little bit more time?
All right, so I'm going to go to Nathan. Nathan, what were you saying now?
Miss B, Miss.
Tell me how you got me.
Miss, how I got B, Miss, is because she said Miss Marilyn used 5/8 kilograms, Miss, to make a vanilla cake, Miss, and use 7/12 kilogram to make the chocolate cake, Miss.
Mm-hmm.
Miss, so the 5/8, Miss, would be Miss in B, Miss, the 5/8 would be Miss 5/8, Miss plus 7/2, Miss. So that's the same thing in the sentence. So I would look at the answers, Miss, and found this 5/8 and the 7/12, Miss. So that's how I end up with the B, Miss, because the 5/8 plus 7/12, Miss.
Oh, so you're saying B is the answer?
Yes, Miss.
Oh, that's incorrect, Nathan. That's incorrect, actually. Anyone else? Miss Reed is saying she can't see clearly. So Miss Reed, I see where you're saying I disagree, but I don't know what you disagree with or whom you disagree with. Scholars in the chat and teachers and parents in the chat, you really have to help us out and be more specific with your answers or questions. Please, I'm begging. Anyone else? While Nathan goes back to the drawing board and Shaheem is still working out his stuff. Anyone else can help us with 27? Mikhail is saying A for 27. As usual, Mikhail usually gives us a detailed explanation of the procedure. So we're waiting patiently for that to come in. So Miss Reed is saying, Miss, are you saying you disagree with the answer for number 26? Let's go back to 26. 20. Oh, well, based on the numbers given, this is actually C. Double check the numbers given for the years, and you'll see that it matches up. All right, so we're still
Miss
at
was
20.
saying, excuse me, Miss?
Yes, Amari.
Miss Reed was saying that she disagrees with Shaim's answer, which was A, Miss.
Okay, so that's why I'm saying those in the chat, you have an extra weight on your shoulders. We are asking you, please, to be more detailed. When you give your answer, tell us which question you're answering. And if you're disagreeing, say what exactly you disagree with. And if you're asking a question, be specific. So what about this 27? Who is going to help us out of this one? We're adding, this is addition of fractions, guys. 5/8 plus 7/12. So we need to find what when we're adding fractions?
Miss, the lowest common multiple, miss.
Of?
Miss, the A? Miss, is that an 8?
It's an 8.
Miss, the 8 and the 12, miss.
Which is?
Miss, that is...
Miss, I know the answer.
Pure, go ahead.
I got the answer too, miss.
Miss D, miss.
How you come by D, Pure?
Miss because it said Marilyn used 5/8 kilogram of sugar to bake a vanilla cake and 7/12. That means 8 times 12 is 96.
Do you see what we have right here? This is what she's doing right here. She's not multiplying them. To get the total in both cakes, she's adding. So they already set out for us what we're doing. We're adding these two fractions. The answer is A. The LCM is 24. 8 into 24 goes 3 times, 5 3s 15. And 12 into 24 2 times, 7 2s 14. So 15/24 plus 14/24. So A is the answer. Pure, it's your question.
Miss, I just got the question. Miss, I just got the answer and I got 8 wins.
All right. Pure, number 28.
Rohanda laid a gray plain card on a grid as shown in the diagram below. She used the grid to help her find the area of the gray playing card. What is the area in square centimeters of the gray playing card Rhonda laid on my grid? A. 11 and a half square centimeters. B. 7/8 square centimeters. C. 6/12 centimeters. D. 5/3/4 square centimeters. Rohanda laid a gray
Rhonda.
Rohanda laid
Rhonda.
Rhonda. Thank you, miss. Rhonda laid a gray playing card on a grid as shown in the diagram below. She used the grid to help her find the area of the gray playing card. What is the area in square centimeters of the gray playing card Rhonda laid on the grid? A. 11 1/4 square centimeters. B. 7/8 square centimeters. C. 6/12 centimeters square centimeters. D. 5/3/4 square centimeters.
All right, so they want the area of the grid in square centimeters. How would we approach that? Any takers for 28?
X.
Amari?
So I was going to say something, miss, but I'm not ready yet. Miss.
Mm-hmm. Anybody else?
But miss, I am very close to my answer.
Okay. Yes, miss, we clarified that. So it's a grid, and if we look at the
I found that.
dimensions, so all of this is what, 3.5, right? 3.5. So we can roughly say that's 1, 2, 3.5, right?
Miss, I
This,
found the answer.
go ahead, Amari.
Miss, I got 5 and 3 over 4.
And how did you get that?
Miss, I think it's wrong, Miss, but Miss, I said the 3 and the 1 over 2, Miss, plus the 2 and 1 over 4, Miss.
They're asking for the area. Area is not an addition situation most times.
Miss, I just wanted to see.
It's rectangular. Area is length times width. I think there is a discrepancy here. There's the 2.25 the arrow should actually end here, just like how the 3.5 ended just within the boundaries of the grid of the shaded area. So the quarter should end here. So we say 1, 2, and a quarter. When we're given a grid like this and we're asked to find the area, we can actually count the boxes. Since we have established that it's 1 unit to 1 unit, because it said 3.5, and that's 1, 2, 3.5. So each unit on the grid is 1 centimeter. So if we count the boxes, so that's an area of 1 centimeter squared, 2 centimeters squared, 3, 4, 5, 6 whole boxes. And then these 2 halves make 7 whole boxes. And we have a quarter, quarter, quarter. That's almost 1 whole. This is not a full quarter. It's half of a quarter, right? So it's 7 and 7/8. A little quarter is left back. So when you're given a grid with the boxes and this situation is an area situation, you can actually count the full boxes as 1 square unit and estimate, round off the other pieces of boxes. We have 2 full halves, 2 halves here make 1 full whole. These are quarters, 3 quarters plus 1 quarter, not 1 quarter. It's a half of a quarter. So that's how we get the 7/8. So in all, it's 7 and 7/8. Whose question was that one?
I think it was P.
Was it Amari?
Miss,
Yes, Amari.
Miss, me.
Was pure?
Me, yes, Miss.
All right, Nathan, 29, please.
Yes, Miss.
29, please.
Jamstock gas station sold 417,549 liters of gas in a day. How many liters of gas did the gas station sell? Rounded to the nearest hundred. A. 417. B. 417.58. C. 417.585. D. 417.59.
Continue. Again.
Jamstock gas station sold 417,549 liters of gas in a day. How many liters of gas did the gas station sell? Rounded to the nearest hundred. A. 417. B. 417.58. C. 417.585. D. 417.59.
All right. So how would you approach this, Nathan? They want us to round this figure to the nearest hundredth. Hundredth. Anybody else? Anybody else want to try? If we're rounding to the nearest hundredth, we look in what place? Shaheem, are you still there?
Yes, miss.
We're rounding to the nearest hundredth. Which place do we look at? Shalicia, go please. Any thoughts on this one? Shalicia? Those in the chat, are you hearing me? Because I'm suspecting my panel isn't hearing me in studio. Are you hearing me, guys?
Yes, miss, I am.
Who wants to have a go at this one? Amoy, welcome.
Miss Pure says he wants to have a go.
Pure, you want to have a go at this one? Let me bring him on. Pure, go ahead.
Miss, is it D, Miss?
D.
417. Yes, Miss. 417.59.
Tell me how you got D.
Miss, because it said round it to the nearest hundred.
Mm-hmm. So what did you do? Which digit is in the hundredth place?
Mr. Mr. 505,000.
Which single digit is in the hundredth place?
It's the 800.
The eighth. So we're to look at the one to the right, which is a 4.
Yes, Miss.
It's less than 5, so we don't add 1 to the 8.
What?
We're rounding to the 800. The 4 is less than 5. If it was 5 or more, we would have added 1 to the 8. And then the answer would have been D. But the answer is actually B, because 4 is less than 5, so we don't add 1. So Mikhail said my answer would be B, because the number in the hundredth place is 8. Now we need to look at the number after 8, that is 4, and 4 is less than 5, so the number will be 417.58. Absolutely correct. That's exactly what I just said. So Mikhail is correct, right? It's B. Amoy, can you hear me? Okay, Amoy is on but not responding. Rajani, I'm going to ask you to read the last question from the set, and then we're going to have a bonus question. Rajani, read question 30, please. You know, I think my students go off to sleep sometimes. Rajani, are you there?
Miss is there. Maybe he's not hearing the miss.
Or
Oh,
maybe
mama. Sorry, miss.
Your mic was off.
Yes, miss.
All right, I'd
I
like you
didn't
to
know
read
what
question
was
30, please.
Which statement is true? A. All hexagons are triangles because they have a slight 3 sides.
At least 3 sides. At least.
At least three sides. All
B. Call a
B.
letter.
All B. All parallel all parallelograms are rectangles because they have two sets of parallel sides. C. All all octagons C. All octagons are poly- polygons because they have three or more sides. D. All mi- miss
Rhombus.
Miss
all
Mrs.
rhombus are squares
Miss, it says
because they have
run
four sides.
Miss is spelled with an I, Miss.
Miss, it says
Um,
run by Miss.
that
Rhombi. Sorry, I can't see. I
are
can't see the D's on this
all
screen.
of
Or
the
rhombi or
are all are all of the same length.
all right. This time when you're reading, go a little faster, please. Again.
Which statement is true? A. All hectagons are triangles because they have at, at least three sides. B. All parallelograms are rectangles because they have two sets of parallel sides. C. All octagons are
Polygons.
polygons because they have three or more sides. D. All rhombi,
Rhombi.
rhom, rhombi are squares because they have four sides that are all of the same length.
Okay, which of those statements is true?
Miss Amos.
All right, so you're saying A. Read what A says.
All A. All hexagons are triangles because they have at least three sides.
How many sides does a hexagon have, Rajani?
Six, miss.
And how many sides does a triangle have?
Three, miss.
So are hexagons triangles?
No, miss.
No.
Miss, I have my answer, Miss.
Amari?
Miss, I chose C. Miss, it says all octagons are polygons because they have three or more sides, Miss.
Okay, anybody else?
Miss, I say C to Miss. All
Machine
octagons
is
are
saying
polygons.
C. Pure is
Yes,
saying
miss. I
C.
say C, miss.
All right, the answer is C. Hexagons, all hexagons are indeed polygons. And uh, the bonus question, Shaheem, I want you to read the bonus question. And then everybody's going to tell me how they solve this question, right?
Problem of the day. The rectangular container A is
Hold
completely.
on, Shaheem. Rajani, are you muted? Please mute.
Sorry, miss.
Shaheem, is that your background?
Yes, yes, miss.
All right, I'm gonna have to mute you then, right? Mute. Let me ask somebody else to read. Pure, go ahead and read for me.
Yes, miss. The rectangular container A is completely filled with water. All the water in container A is po- poured into an empty rectangular container B. What is the height of the water level in container B?
Hold on. Shahim, did you mute?
Yes, miss.
Pure mute. So everybody has lots of stuff going on in the background today. Amari, read it again, please. Read it for Pure.
Okay, miss. Problem of the day. The rectangular container A is completely filled with water. All the water in container A is poured into an empty rectangular container B. What is the height of the water level in container B?
All right, so everybody pitch in. Let me know what you think. Everybody pitch in. Knock your heads together on this one. This is the bonus question.
Miss, I think it's 8.
How you got 8? You know I'm gonna want to know that, right?
Yes, miss.
So
Cause 8 plus 4 equal 12, miss.
as simple as that, huh?
No.
I really wish it was as simple as that.
Mm,
um. So
miss, I think
it's not as simple as Pure makes it out to be. So let's put our heads again to it.
Miss, I don't know if it's the answer, miss. But miss,
Mhm.
I see on B how it's different from A, miss. It has miss B has an extra part like a box on top of the box, miss. A
Mhm.
smaller box than the original box, miss.
Yeah,
So
because
miss,
B is a bigger box. So if you pour all the water out of A, it's not going to fill B. So
yes,
there
miss.
will be empty space left in B.
So miss, I would say it's like 2, miss. Sorry,
Two.
miss. 8, miss. 8, miss.
The height of B is 8. B is a
Yes.
bigger box. And the height of A is 6. So you're saying the height of B or the height of the water in B, you're saying it's 8.
Miss the height of the whole box, miss.
Are they asking for the height of the whole box?
Oh no, miss, it's the same 6.
You're saying it's the same 6.
Yes, miss.
So if it was the same 6, let me see. We had 8, 5. The dimensions on the base are different.
Oh,
But
that's all.
tell
I could have
me,
calculated
tell
that.
me something. They're asking for the height of the water level, right? These are three-dimensional objects. When we're dealing with three-dimensional objects that contain material, are we thinking in terms of um, perimeter, area, or volume?
Miss, can you repeat your question, please, miss?
These are three-dimensional objects. They have
Yes,
the ability to hold things on the inside, right?
yes, miss.
Clearly, each box has water on the inside of it.
Yes, miss.
So are we thinking a perimeter measurement, area measurement, or volume measurement?
Miss, miss.
Let me see what the
Miss.
folks in the chat, if anybody is typing in.
Oh, miss, I found my answer, miss.
What's your answer?
Miss, miss, I got 19. Sorry, miss. Not 19, miss. I got Oh, Miss 3, Miss, because Miss, how I got that, Miss, I said, Miss 8, Miss, the 6 plus 5 is 11, Miss, plus the 8, Miss, which will give you a 19, Miss. Then I said 12, Miss, I know 12 plus 4 is 16, Miss. And then, Miss, I'm going to say, Miss, what I say now, Miss, I said, what plus 16 gives you 19, Miss? And then, Miss, that is 3, Miss.
If it had been, if they wanted the distance on the outside of the shapes, I could see with that calculate. I could see with the addition approach. But we have the containers have water that fill them up or fill them to a point. It's not a perimeter measurement that or an area measurement. It's a volume measurement. It's a capacity measurement. Did you remember what we said we do to calculate volume of a rectangular based object? How do we calculate the volume of a rectangular based object? We just did it earlier, you know. Volume is length times width times height.
Miss, can you hear me?
I'm hearing you, Amari.
Oh, Miss, I was saying something, Miss, but I think my mic was off, Miss.
Okay, what were you saying?
It's the length times the width times the height, Miss.
Right. So what's the volume of water in container A?
In container A, Miss.
Mm-hmm.
Miss, can I please work it out, Miss?
Sure.
It's 40 times 6. Miss, I got 240, Miss.
What's the unit?
Oh, centimeters, Miss.
Centimeters.
Yes,
Is volume measured in centimeters?
sorry, Miss. Miss, I'm going.
What's the unit for volume? It's cubic units. We're multiplying this centimeter by that centimeter by this centimeter. So it's cube, centimeter cube.
Yes, Miss.
240 centimeters cube. And they're saying that all of the water in this container A is poured into that. So what that means is the same volume of water in A is going to be the same volume of water in B. The dimensions are different, so the height will be different, but it's the same volume of water.
Excuse me, Miss?
Yes, Amari?
Miss, I think I know then, Miss, now that you explained that to me, Miss, I think I know how to approach the question.
So go ahead.
So, Miss, what you're supposed to say for the other question, Miss, Miss times the 8 times the 5 times the 40, Miss, which we got 240, Miss. Miss, will you also say, Miss will know that 12 times 4, Miss, that is 48, Miss. Miss, would you say what times 48 gives you 240, Miss?
That is exactly correct.
And Miss, that would be, Miss, I am coming, Miss. I am working it out. 40. Miss, I'm going to get a different pen because this one ran out of ink. Okay, Miss, I have the pen, Miss.
So 240 divided by 48. That's what you're doing, right?
Yes,
To
Miss.
see 48 times what gives 240. Miss, the answer wouldn't be 48, but it's a step in getting the answer. So we found the volume of container A, and it's that same volume of water that should fill the point in container B where the water level is. So as Amari said, base time length times width times height give volume. So 12 times 4 times what would give that same volume of water? Because remember it said the water in A, all of the water in A is poured into B. So it's the same volume of water. Did you find it yet?
Miss, I am very close to my answer, miss, but not yet have I found it.
Has anyone else worked it
Miss,
out?
I found it, miss, I found it, miss, I found it, miss, I found it.
Okay, what is it?
Miss, I got 5, miss. 5 centimeters, miss.
5 centimeters. All right, so that is correct. So the idea is if we're pouring something from one container into another container, the volume of that liquid will be the same. And if we know what the volume of the liquid was, and we need any of the dimensions in the other box, other container, multiply the first two dimensions, which would basically give the area, and divide the volume by that, and you will get the height. That's the idea, right?
Yes, miss.
That's the idea. So that was our problem of the day, the bonus question. 8 centimeter. 5 centimeters.
5 centimeters.
Right. Which brings us to the end. How was it, guys?
Miss, I think, miss, part of it was easy, miss. Part of it was kind of a challenge, miss. But Mr. Bonus question, miss, that was medium. Miss.
Medium
Wait,
challenge.
no, it's not medium. It's like a little over to the, miss, a little bit more over to the easy side, miss.
Are you sure?
Yes, miss. Miss,
Miss,
because you said the volume.
it's not 5 centimeters cubed. For the height is a one-dimensional.
Miss, it was very easy when you said the volume, miss. So, miss, as soon
So
as you
you're
said
saying once
volume,
you got that hint, it was easy from there on, right? Easy sailing from there. So
yes,
sometimes all we need is just a little push in the right direction,
yes,
and it's easy breezy all the way. Sure,
miss,
you have your hand up.
Miss, I didn't.
You didn't have your hand up, Shalicia?
No, miss. No, miss.
Miss, I kept getting caught by the system over and over again.
Yeah, that happens. It's so inconvenient. Sometimes it's a system, sometimes it's me giving another student a chance. Like when the student comes on late, if I can give them a chance to get in a 1 or 2 question, I will do that sometimes. So I might remove someone who has been on from earlier so that another student can get the chance. If it's even one question to read, right?
yes,
But
miss.
sometimes it's a system just randomly um, cuts people off. And then sometimes persons are on, but their mic isn't working or some other difficulty, and I have to switch them with somebody else.
Miss, one of the reasons why you weren't hearing me one time I said that I should read one of the questions is
Mm-hmm.
because I was zooming in on the board to read it. Miss.
Oh,
That's
okay.
why.
Yeah, there are all kinds of issues with our devices and stuff. We just have to try to work around them. So, how was the paper overall, guys?
Miss,
Miss, I'll give it a 55%. No,
55% in terms of what? Easiness?
no,
Difficulty?
miss. No, miss.
55% difficult and what percent easy?
miss, for me,
Miss, I will give the hard one about 50 and the easy a 50.
Okay, so you're saying 50% hard, 50% easy. Okay, Amari.
miss, what I say, miss, 60% easy and 40% hard, miss.
Okay, I hear you. Shalicia, what you say?
Miss, the class wasn't that hard. It was actually manageable.
All right.
Just a little hard.
Okay. The
Yes.
more we practice, the better we get. And especially when we put our heads
Yes.
together and then we build on knowledge that we have gained as we go along, definitely will make us sharper. All right, so the next time we meet will be on Monday.
Yes.
We'll have another round of questions to forge our way through together and see what we can make of these ability test questions. So we have Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday ability tests, and Thursday is the actual exam. So we're wishing those who are going off to do the exam on Thursday, we're wishing them all the very best. Read carefully. Think about the question. Look for any keywords, especially words like not and doesn't. Those can throw you off, so be careful. Underline the keywords to help guide you. Do all your working out. Don't make any assumptions. Put your pencil to the paper and work it out, just to make sure. Consider all the options. Don't just read one or two of the options and make a decision. Look at all the options. So we'll meet again on Monday, scholars.
Miss,
Thank you for sharing your time with
I have
me.
something to say, Miss.
Go ahead, Amari.
Miss, although we went way over time, it felt Miss like we had a short time in the class, Miss.
Well, that's what happens when you're having fun, isn't it? The time just goes by.
Yes.
Yeah. So we're actually at
Yes,
almost.
that actually is true, Miss.
It is true.
Like, anytime I go outside, I came back in, come back, and I look at my phone and I look at the time. It was 1 hour. And I just started an hour going back out, and I came back in. Woof. Just 1 hour later.
We're almost at the 2 hour mark. We're roughly 2.5 minutes away from 2 hours. So I really appreciate you spending your 2 hours with me this Friday afternoon when you could be off making noise and giving your parents headache, which you all love to do. So thank you
No,
for.
Miss, I don't do that.
You sure?
Yes, Miss, I don't do that.
I'm going
Miss,
to
I
ask.
don't believe Rajani, Miss.
I'm going to ask his mom. I'm going to ask your mom if you don't make noise and give her a headache. So make sure you can back it up when I talk to your mom, Rajan. Thank you to those in the chat. I know Miss Reed is holding up the rear in over there in the chat, bringing up the rear, Miss. Thank you. And Michael is also holding strong in the chat almost all the time. All right, scholars, off you go.
Bye, Miss.
Take
Bye.
care. It was fun having
Bye,
you.
Miss. Have a great weekend.
Bye,
Same to
everyone.
you.
See
See you on
See
Monday.
you next week.
Yeah.
Monday.